Noemi here, diaspora founder, investor, and builder of businesses the West wish they could build. All right, so this past week I've been on endless sales outreach. So for those of you who don't know, I pretty much find specialty foods in Africa, honey, hibiscus, moringa, baobab, and I export it towards the Western market by starting with the US, because I grew up in Canada and I have access to the US market. And eventually I want to get into Arabic countries and Europe. So a common question that I get asked by many African entrepreneurs that want to get into the US market, and it makes sense because the US has the purchase power of the dollar, massive volume population that are consumers, is how do I export raw material, especially foods, into the US market? Here's the bottom line actually. When it comes to food, you need the FDA approval, the Food Administration of the US government. Now, the FDA, in my opinion, they are a bigger pain in the ass than the average African government. So you want to go to third-party companies like Register Corp. But my fellow Africans, you got to make sure on the ground, your farmers are treated well, are paid well, and that the quality of what you're exporting is top-notch. Because once it gets to the US, FDA controls at every port the quality of your food. And if it does not meet the standard that you promised, they're not going to give it to whoever you are selling it to. So that's a big one. And you also want a custom broker in the US. This is the same thing in Africa, but in the US, the fee is much smaller. These are people that make sure that by the time your goods arrive at any US port, they're gonna pass it through. So that's what I would do. And in terms of registration, definitely register yourself in the US as an LLC, which you can do regardless of your passport. But then, yeah, I hope this helps.